May the words of my mouth and the meditation of each one of our hearts be always acceptable to you, our strength, and our Redeemer, and our Deliverer. Amen. Their names may be uncommon. The names were Shiphrah and Puah. Not many people remember their names. Everybody remembers Moses. That's okay. Moses is worth remembering. Moses changed the world. But so did Shiphrah and Puah. You see, we remember Shiphrah and Puah because these two women, these two midwives, they rebelled against Pharaoh's command to kill all the newborn Hebrew boys. Now, they were not simply just good Samaritans. They were not just responding to a one-time isolated incidents of violence. These two women, they were refusing to be complicit with the state-sanctioned structure of oppression. They were subverting a corrupt system. And what we see in this story is the first record of civil disobedience that required great courage. And so we remember Shiphrah and Puah and all the other nameless midwives that they represent, those people who protect and sustain life from the systems that destroy the creatures of God. But notice that they didn't act alone. They were part of a community, a subversive community that defied Pharaoh, preserved life in the midst of death. Notice that there are 5 women in this story, each acting from impulses that were stronger than their fear of Pharaoh. And each one of them, they take part in their own way in bringing Moses into life. First, Moses' birth mother, then his sister Miriam, and then even these 2 midwives, and then there's Pharaoh's daughter. Without them, there would be no Moses. The story of the Hebrews in the Exodus, it echoes throughout history, providing perhaps more questions than answers. The overarching theological question is, where is God in human suffering? You see, there's a gap of more than 400 years between the promise of Abraham and the time of Moses. Why does it take God so long to act? Where is God in the daily round of casual atrocities, a violation of every code of decency, when humans become the playthings of fate and pharaohs, victims of social, economic, and political forces that are beyond their control and their comprehension? You see, the Exodus is preeminently a story of liberation, of how Hebrew slaves come to see themselves again as Israelites, as a people, as fully human. But there's a secondary thread in which Egyptians, Shiphrah and Puah, and certainly Pharaoh's daughter, they see the Israelites as fully human too. And this is part of the hope that the story carries for us. The hope of reconciliation, the hope that we can recognize our common humanity and together build a just community based on that recognition, even when the realization of that hope requires us to act with Shiphrah and Puah, and our baptismal covenant requires us to resist and to renounce the evil powers of this world which corrupt and destroy the creatures of God. You see, to proclaim with Peter that Jesus is the Christ is to say with those 5 women that there is a higher power than Pharaoh. So if, as Martin Luther King said, the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice, then my question is, what makes it bend? What makes it bend? I'm just asking the question. I really don't have an answer. But I do find a couple of hints in this story. First, there's the moral courage of these midwives. They know that the order to kill babies is evil. Second, there's the endurance of the oppressed people. They refuse to give in to despair, but they keep hope alive. Third, there's the truth-telling of Pharaoh's daughter. Her willingness to speak the truth to name the evil that she sees, and then to act against it, it becomes the very path through which God's agent, Moses, stays alive. What bends the moral arc of the universe? It's courage, hope, truth, and endurance, and a faith in a God who acts on God's own mysterious timetable for deliverance and redemption. Perhaps a better question is, who bends the moral arc of the universe? It is the great I Am, and maybe also you and me, as we speak truth, enact courage, and endure with hope. May it be so for you and for me. Amen.